leave, so he will not be in attendance today. Going in, so I'm not as perky as Chief Coach Jim, but I'll do the best I can to work through this. We'll run through the attendance real quick. Councilman Brennan is here. Town Supervisor Aaron Cassidy Dorn's here. Let's see. Joe's not here. Chief isn't here. I am present. Lieutenant Frenier is not present. Michelle's not present. Attorney Finnan is here with us. No Chuck Scagnelli or Swinton. I do not have a PBA representative here. Okay, Chief Finna is with us. Let our guests say who they are that they're present.
Mike,
Oops, I'm sorry.
you pointed at me, so I
I did do that. I did.
Mike,
Mike, ladies,
Tara Peterson.
Tara Peterson,
Paula Keith.
Paula Keith, and we have Janet.
Were you here last meeting? We probably don't have enough people because Chief Benna wasn't here either, so we probably don't have enough people to vote on that. The table minutes.
it's for a long time.
I've tabled the minutes till this meeting. Operations.
For operations, we have a reminder that our all-night parking for the town of Niskuna. It's starting on, I don't think you got the date.
Yeah.
November first.
And it just started.
November 1st, okay. And it's prohibited on all the highways between 3 and 6 from November 1st to April 1st. So that our plows can get through safely.
Put something out on the website or.
We already did.
So the biggest complaint I get in court is that people say they have no idea that this is a thing.
I like didn't know about it till like 5 years ago.
We also,
I definitely got a ticket too.
we also put out reminders, but we.
But occasionally it's like, you know, somebody who doesn't necessarily live there, or maybe there's driveway space usually, and for some reason, you know, it might be an offhand. Sometimes I get situations where somebody just moved here and didn't know, and
We'll just overkill the communication on it, like posted a few times.
that's what I was gonna suggest. I mean, that's all we can, I think, do. I always explain to everybody.
It's
ignorance of the law is
everybody,
not a
right?
defense, but you know, we do our best to. Yes, I don't think. Yeah,
Right.
There's no exceptions to the night parking in the town, right? That's for the whole town.
It's every road, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of Lieutenant Frenier's piece. Traffic community engagement division will be out conducting pedestrian and bicycle awareness throughout the town. It's basically just educating people, letting them know riding on the correct side of the road, walking, not crossing in the middle of the street, crossing at traffic lights. It's kind of a way to just kind of remind people to be safe out there when you're on the roads, not just in your vehicle, but also walking and riding your bike. Fleet and equipment, we will be looking to auction off our old patrol vehicle 607, which was involved in an accident a little while back. We've been using it to scrap some spare parts off to kind of cover some of the issues with some of our current fleet. But we've finally gotten to the point now where we're just going to look to auction off 607 altogether.
On the opposite side, resolutions, it says surplus property in addition. Is that for bicycles?
That's going to be the bicycle part.
So I'll do the one resolution, like I usually do auction and surplus all as one.
Okay.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I spoke with the chief. I'm gonna add to that list because I have some surplus items as well, rather than do two separate resolutions if we can.
And I think Ray's surplusing a forklift too, so I'll just add you all. Are you gonna add that to finance? I didn't put it on the agenda, but.
Yeah, I'm speaking finance now based on your agenda that I got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, our patrol vehicles, we are getting 3 new cases, which will go into the rear of our vehicles for our shotgun and rifles. If any of you have ever looked inside of our patrol vehicles at this point in time, our shotguns and our rifles are visible. So we are looking to buy secure cabinets to go into the trunk of our vehicles where we can secure them inside. They are secure in vehicle now. They're in locked latches, but we're just looking to take them out of sight. So people just can't see them. So we're budgeted for 3 of those for 3 of our vehicles this year.
Just need finance or it's gonna check it just not doing
We need finance.
I think it was just finance. He's gonna send me, he didn't have the backup ready before he had finally gone, so
Okay.
he'll send me all the backup, but I believe that and the radar trailer were both just finance.
Okay.
There's the purchase of the billboard radar trailer, which I will let Detective Monk talk about.
So this is something we've been kind of looking at for a long time. We did get some wonderful grants for 2 trailers, kind of prototype these a couple of years back. And with the new LPRs, what this trailer will do is actually let's attach one of the portable LPRs to it. So it's kind of a multi-use trailer. So it'll read speeds, it'll record speeds, very similar to the current black box. It also has an informational sign, so if we need to close a road or do something else, we can fully program that sign. The really nice thing about the one that we've received some quotes for is it's got a solar panel and that's kind of oversized, so the battery is scaled up to run the sign, to run the flashing lights, and run the LPR technology. And so we've looked at, we've got a couple different quotes from 3 or 4 vendors that I think we're moving forward with the one.
And how much is that?
I will give you the exact number.
Actually, can you just send me copies of these as well, because we'll put it out to finance. So.
LPR.
License plate reader. Yeah, I just.
So they might need resolutions.
This is what I'm on.
He doesn't have.
So there's,
that.
depending on the options, the chief had wanted us to flash. So I just had to email a quote, roughly about 20,000, 17 to 30. But that, depending if we're going to move forward with that, the bigger sign, which allows us to put bigger messages on
Thank you.
there.
Okay, so we're moving on to building. I have nothing for the building. Under training, thank you to Detective Munger, who is currently in basic criminal investigator school. It's 2-week school. He'll be attending that from November 4th through November 15th. He slipped in here right after his training today so that he can attend this meeting. Thank you, Jim. Officer Guest, House, Vitaro, and Thomasone will be attending our field training officer course, which will be held down in Zone 5, November 19th through the 22nd. That course is for current officers so that they can be trained on training our new recruits that will be coming through the police department over time. So we have to have training officers here for them to continue their training on the road here. So those 4 officers will be attending November 19th through the 22nd. Officer Breslin is now instructing at what we call the EVOC Academy, which is Emergency Vehicle Operations course. That is teaching our recruits how to operate an emergency vehicle, lights and sirens, and just everyday normal driving, but it is a course that our officers have to pass and go through in order to drive a police car. Citizens correspondence.
Yeah, I can speak to that one. I had a gentleman who stopped in a couple weeks ago, concerned about speeding and folks running the stop sign on Banker, which is, there's a 3-way stop. Is a 3-way stop sign there, I think? Because it's at the top of North Ravine and then both directions, right? There is a posted sign that says 20 miles per hour. That's actually not supposed to be there anymore. It dates back to when that road didn't go all the way through. So in fact, the 20 mph isn't enforceable because it's not in our. So that ended up being removed. I don't know that anybody would notice except us paying attention and probably the folks that live there. But we are trying to pay a little bit more attention to, we weren't really sure which direction he was talking about, whether it was them running it on Banker or trucks having trouble and, you know, doing some maneuvering on North Ravine. So Chief Cushion has been looking into that, and we're going to try to stay in touch with the, he happens to live right on the corner there. And he said, I'm retired. I sit out there all day long just watching. But he did say that he saw an increase in traffic, truck traffic, which I thought was weird, right?
Yeah.
So I still haven't figured out what that is, but maybe we can get some more information from him, try to figure out what, maybe there's people cutting through, but I don't know why you would cut through that way. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but that one's ongoing.
Should we do our citizen correspondence now since we're
Sure.
on that? Anyone have anything they want to say?
Sure, thank you for, yeah, I'm gonna let Paula start.
I'm kind of a nervous speaker, so pardon me. I'm gonna just pass this around if you just take one. So we both live on Onondaga Road, and there's lots going on there. Recently, the service station on the corner of Troy Schenectady Road and Onondaga Road submitted a variance request to more than double the size of the building. Until the request was submitted, employees parked on Onondaga Road, making narrow street even narrower. This raised several concerns among the local community, as there is a lot of congestion here. There is an ingress and egress to the service station just before Troy Schenectady Road. And as you head up Onondaga Road towards Troy Schenectady Road, vision is obscured by the incline, and cars are parked on the side, cars turning into and out of the service station, cars turning from and onto Troy Schenectady Road. And the situation has caused several incidents and accidents and near misses. Over the summer, the situation was exacerbated by months of construction. Vehicles parked on Onondaga Road to build a new road and wall behind the service station. In addition to this, the road has become a parking spot for school buses that routinely idle on weekday mornings. Parents that use this location as a convenient meeting point for exchanging children, and service workers to wait for appointment times in the neighborhood. All of this contribute to traffic and parking challenges. The situation was further complicated when the real estate office was operational, as meetings there led to overflow parking spilling onto Onondaga Road. Moreover, there have been troubling reports from nearby residents regarding drug exchanges, creating a safety concern for families in the area. And specifically this summer, we live right behind where the real estate office was. Our driveway was used 6 to 10 times a day by vehicles attempting to turn around. This includes vans from Nitsky unit, vans, and service station employees. This necessitated a sign to be placed on our yard to discourage this behavior and protect the integrity of our property. We appealed to local authorities to thoughtfully consider placing no parking signs on both sides of Onondaga Road, from Troy Schenectady Road to the edge of our property on 120, the northern edge of 121 Onondaga Road, and the southern edge of 2336 Cayuga Road property line. So, any questions on the map? So it'd be from Troy Schenectady Road. So this would be here, and it would be here. And the service station owns this property. Not to Cayuga, this property doesn't want a sign in front of their home, and this property doesn't, so just to this boundary in here.
That's your property here.
This is, this is, so, yeah, just, I don't necessarily want to send anything up in the house, but there's kind of a wooded area that it could cover. It's just, there's a lot of ingress and egress onto Onondaga Road. So a lot going on in that 100 feet or so.
Okay, I just want to add to that. Thank you first of all for allowing us to come and speak to you all. We really appreciate that and all you do for our town. So we have a unique situation at our corner of Onondaga Road and Route 7 with two grandfathered businesses, one on each corner. It's very unique in this town. And we have a lot of issues as a result, as Paula was alluding to. So we have sightline issues as our biggest problem. Looking down, coming out of the neighborhood, trying to get on a left onto Troy Schenectady Road. There's daily vehicles parked at the corner and then again along Route 7 blocking your view line. I personally had an accident there, collided with a bicycle rider. So this is big to me. A man on his bicycle riding Route 7 10 years ago. There was a truck parked on the corner obstructing my view. We collided. He was taken away in an ambulance. Thank God he wasn't seriously injured, but it's something I wouldn't wish on anybody. So I've spoken with the owner and asked him, as did my husband, to please not park cars there. He's promised us he would not park cars there. Within a few days, cars are parked back there. This has been an ongoing issue. He came to the library, promised us he was painting no parking signs there and he would enforce it himself. And within 2 or 3 days, the cars are parked back there. We have gone back, gone in, spoken with him. He's our neighbor and we consider him a friend, but this has become a very difficult situation to have these cars parked there. We also have grade issues. So when you come into the neighborhood, the road dips down and cars are coming off Route 7 at a rapid speed of 45 to 50 miles an hour, turning into a very narrow bottlenecked road with vehicles parked. He's expanding back his parking lot. He's created a wall. He's got construction vehicles parked there, his personal vehicles. There's most days 20 plus cars parked in the lot. If you look at the paperwork that was submitted to planning board meeting, there's a view of the garage. If you look at that, if you go look at that view, there's 24 cars on the lot in that picture. And it illustrates our issue. There's three cars parked at the corner heading east and then 2 more on the Route 7 line. So we've called into the police many times. We have lots of letters over the years since 2007. We've been at this. We would like to get no parking signs put on the road now so that we won't have these business people and the construction that's going on behind the garage parking on our road, and the school buses as well. This is a new thing this year. The school buses are pulling in. There's sometimes one on each side of the road and it's so narrow, it's really dangerous. So that's really what we're asking for. But we just wanted to illustrate why it's so dangerous to us and it's a concern. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. And we just were wondering how we'd follow up and find out if this is something that's being considered and where we can kind of tag in with somebody or a contact person as to follow up. And I know it's not going to be an immediate.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like one step we could take is to like talk to our department heads and let them know that you're requesting them not to park town vehicle on that road unless it's necessary. If you are using your driveway to turn around, if that's something you're noticing.
Yeah, that's an immediate first
I
step.
could give you the contact information for the Mosquito Bus Garage too. I don't think they would want, you know what I mean? I don't think the district would want you to be upset or have that be happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do find other parking lots or places to idle while they wait for exact time to.
I know. I work out with friends at Zenner Road and they come in there and that's not an issue. It's a big open parking. You know, there's nobody there using it on weekdays except for people walking or exercising, but our road is a different issue. It's so narrow at that opening. I don't think they realize that it's causing issues for people coming out for Route 7. But they're idling there too, with their vehicles running, and it's just like, you need to run your vehicle.
The buses you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's Dr. Munger, would that be something the traffic division would need to study to see?
I mean, and then I'll kind of fall back to the traditional, we're not traffic engineers, so that we can kind of look at problems and then go through and we have run some speed. We've got some data from Onondaga for speeds and everything like that. Just off the top of my head, the school buses are technically standing and not parking. And while we're being pedantic, the no parking sign is not going to fix that issue. And I don't know where we have, I personally responded to some parking complaints, but our parking ordinance in town lets them park there. So they're not, breaking any laws. But yeah, that's certainly, I can get you the traffic stats and volume probably before the next meeting.
So for just a question, so for such a narrow street, it's employees that are parking. And then when, so right now, I believe it's an insurance company that's going into their real estate office. So we could ideally have two companies working ways coming up Route 7 on the side of that road.
All construction is going on.
So I mean, we don't have any way of, there's nothing in the town code, correct me if I'm wrong, that it doesn't matter if they're an employee or whether people and people could just pull in and want to park there, which has happened, right? Like people break down or they could, we don't ask why they're parking on the street, right? There's nothing in the ordinance that says you have to live in the neighborhood or be visiting or anything like that. It's, you're allowed to park there. So I don't think there's any way for us to, as a traffic division or a police department, determine why those people are parking there.
Limitations in the building code for those
And that was going to be my next suggestion, that parking area where the line of sight issues and how many cars are allowed to park. And that all seems like a zoning and permit use.
There's, he was originally tabled and I think he's coming back to the planning board. And then usually there's a tenant change application that goes into the planning board if there's a change in tenant, which I'm hearing that there may be for the real estate. So I would encourage you to attend those meetings when they're on the agenda and voice those concerns to the planning board. I know that they've been heard before. I know Harry's has made past applications. I think I might even recognize at least you. I'm not sure both of you, but from those prior meetings. So, they will take all of that into consideration. And then I think what I'm hearing from Ian is that we can take a look separately into the no parking and whether or not that's a possibility, and then maybe have some more information for you for our next meeting.
Great.
So do you guys want to talk to them? What do you think? Or would you rather have someone call you?
We can get here with one of
I think one of us would be,
We'll discuss it either way. We'll keep it on the agenda and discuss it. So if you can't make it, you can always watch it on YouTube and then follow up with you afterwards. And I believe Harry's also is going to have to go through the zoning board of appeals for variances. So if it makes it to that point, you have a chance to be here there as well.
So we're just asking for no parking signs on the upper part of Onondaga Road. With anything to do with the variance itself. It's just a way to control some of the.
My thoughts are just if there are concerns with, the sight lines or, places for employees to park, those might be things that the planning board can work out if it is going to move forward. You don't necessarily have to come and speak against it, but just say, these are our concerns that we'd like you to consider and address when you're reviewing. And you can write into, I think Laura allows, the planner allows you to write in and she can provide that if you don't feel like coming to a meeting.
We do pay a lot of attention to parking though, so that it would be a good venue to voice those concerns, even if you do end up doing something different on our end. Not a bad idea to have it kind of blanketed.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been informative.
My name's Mike. I'm here with an ongoing concern of the excessive speed on Console Road, especially between, I think you have a. It's not the whole road, it's just certain sections of the road that there is excessive speed. As far as you're taking the place of the police chief, I've contacted the governor's office about speeding. According to the person I talked to, the governor is very strongly suggesting to the towns and the cities and things like that, that she is committed to dropping the speed limits down to 25 miles an hour to protect the citizens of New York State. Also the towns, things like that. And as far as you're concerned there, Console Road is only 1.7 miles long. You said it was almost 6 miles long. From town to town, it's 1.7 miles long. And as far as what you said about the roads in Niskayuna, I don't know who you talked to, but I talked to a lady that works in Department of Motor Vehicle, the Tractor Trailer Safety Committee.
Okay.
And she said that where I live is a residential area. Residential areas are 30 miles an hour. You said about raising it to 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Okay.
Now, you know what Console Road looks like.
Okay.
And as far as I don't know what driveways coming in and out of it has to do with it. And raising the speed limit has to do with people speeding. You're going to raise the speed limit or want to whatever it may be, and that's going to stop people from speeding.
Mr. Clutt, we would have to go through traffic engineering for that, from what I believe, and we.
That I
We've
understand.
definitely exhausted this topic, and you are on public record multiple times with your concern, and we don't have anything further to offer you today.
I was told at the last public meeting to bring our concerns to this meeting. This makes my 6th month I've come here. In 6 months, nothing's been done. And as far as a public safety person, you're supposed to be looking out for the public safety of the residents of Niskayuna, and you're not doing it. I'm not being verbally. I'm mad, upset, and why shouldn't I holler? I'm paying for a junk car that I'm paying my taxes for. I'm using that as a thing.
So that this is a venue to yell at anyone or shout or holler. So
Okay.
we're gonna need to move forward with the agenda unless you have anything like brand new that we haven't addressed yet. Any concerns that are different than.
Yes, I do. I've talked to 16 police people, from chiefs down to patrolmen, that have said that that road, and you've said it, is a dangerous road. The only way to straighten it out is to have ongoing patrols, not once a month, not once every 2 months. I am making suggestions, and none of my suggestions seem to be good enough for you people. And you say I'm upset? Yes, I am upset. I'm told to come to these meetings and things will get straightened out. This makes my 6th straight month coming to here. I wouldn't be here if something was getting done.
With the town of County, we've exhausted other resources.
What
right
did you
now. I'm not
explain
gonna go
to?
in. We've already, it's a public record. You go back to our last meeting and hear all the steps we've taken, and at this
What
point,
did
we are
you
gonna.
do? I don't know.
You can go
There's
back
nothing in writing that I can go to say, yes, you did this, yes, you did this, yes, you did this. You keep saying it, but nothing gets done.
Respect everyone's time. We watched the last 6 meetings, but they are on YouTube and you can watch them. And they are there for you. So we're gonna go on into the agenda to on the event. We are
You-
not talking about this anymore. This is done.
So this is what we do. You tell people to come to these meetings, get them straightened out, and we're not gonna talk about them anymore. Ma'am, you're the supervisor. Are you committed to public safety?
think that you're asking the wrong question. I think that you came to the town with a concern. They took every step possible for them to take in order to validate your requests. We cannot just give every resident everything that they request. There's a process. They went through the process, they presented the traffic study, they went through exhaustive measures to communicate with the county as it's a county road. And the conclusion that we have isn't something that you like, but it doesn't make it wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm
Then
saying
why
is
aren't you
this,
still here saying the same things?
I'm saying that I want more patrols. I want, has anybody ever gone down the thruway going 70 miles an hour and you see a bunch of red lights go on, it's brake lights, and then all of a sudden you see one traffic car slowing down at least 5,000 cars an hour. I am asking that, and I've asked you for that.
So I don't want to rehash all the things. I will say the traffic division routinely calls off on Council Roads. They do a speed detail. They are on that road. They are patrolling that road. They're setting up on that road. They are using the LiDAR on that road. I know that for a fact because I hear them on the radio. I understand it's not as much as you want. It is on the rotation of lists that speed enforcement happens on as they are available, as they have the opportunity, as they go through that list. They are there.
I
And
need these things put down in writing because, for example,
Okay, after the meeting, can we sit down and get a FOIL request for the request, and we'll talk about that after the meeting, so we don't,
okay,
Okay, town events.
Town events, we have our coffee with the cops, sorry, at the senior center, the third Tuesday monthly. And Fire District 1, I was gonna add that too. Should I put that under town events? That Fire District 1 is working on the,
sure.
yeah, they're starting to organize and coordinate with the police department and town hall to do the adoptive family parade for the families and the school families in Niskuna again this year, so.
That's gonna be the 15th.
Yeah, is that, I think you guys are working out the actual date for that.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be the
Dennis.
15th. And we're gonna start here tentatively at 9 o'clock to have Coco, Santa, and pictures. And the Community Foundation is gonna be donating the Coco again this year.
Great.
And then I believe the parade will end at Co-op Plaza. And we've approached all the businesses there to see if they would like to participate somehow. So there should be some social media posts and flyers being developed, so stay tuned.
Is that November 15th? Is that what that is?
December. Does that give enough time for them to wrap and everything? It was the only day that, because the fire department had some other obligations and we needed Santa to be available, and there were a lot of little
Yeah.
pieces of the
A lot of
puzzle,
moving
but
parts.
yeah.
I hear wrapping party at town hall.
I know, I was just gonna say that, maybe we should try to.
I'll supply the wrapping paper.
I know, me too.
I buy the bags, man. I just put it in the bags.
Some tissue, then you're done.
There you go.
Actually, just to add on to that, the presents get delivered by the fire department to one of our district schools, and the social workers all like take them and divvy them up based on family needs that weren't met through our own building adoptive family efforts. So they definitely get put right away to good use and then home to parents too.
So do they wrap them there?
No, the parents are given them and given wrapping paper if they need it, so that they can kind of know what the child's getting.
Can it be open wrapping paper? I probably have 40 rolls of Christmas wrapping paper from my
Absolutely.
aunt's house.
That would be awesome, right?
Let me see what I can get together and I'll coordinate with you to deliver it. Listen, get it out of my garage.
You don't like wrapping anyway.
That's right.
Nothing from the town.
I need another public safety.
Excuse me.
Could I get a copy of the evacuation of the building and what you do if there's an emergency?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
it's a FOIL.
It's a foil, yeah.
We'll do it after.
Okay.
Town attorney.
I was gonna say, I can do the town clerk too. I mean, there's not really much to report. We're kind of gathering what some of the other local municipalities are doing for the peddling and soliciting. I don't know if it'll be ready for December, but I'd like to have it ready for the December meeting if possible. And then at the December meeting, we could introduce it and call for a public hearing and then take action on it for early next year. And then as far as cases, I had one new case on a loose dog last week that went to court. And on Monday, somewhere in the vicinity of 30 bus patrol trials and 2 parking ticket trials. And I think we have 2 additional dates scheduled for bus patrol trials of 30 trials each. And those are just the ones that are being contested, not the ones that are being.
Is that in for the month 30? Or is that ongoing?
Those are the trials that are scheduled. So I'd say
So there's 60.
there's about 60 coming up for December, yes. And then we should be close to cut up.
Chief Fitta, anything from fire department?
Well, we just wrapped up our fire prevention month, which was extremely busy this year. And an absolutely amazing partnership with Niskayuna District 2. We reached nearly 1,000 students and adults for fire prevention training. It was really fantastic, particularly at the schools, very well received.
What was that number again? How many?
Nearly 1,000. I don't have the exact number yet. They're still tallying, but it's a lot of people, more than I think we've ever reached before. So the partnership with District 2 was just absolutely fantastic. Also, we partnered up with District 2 and we were able to provide 4 Stop the Bleed trauma kits to the high school. And they're mounted near their AEDs. God forbid an awful event occurs. Is something to help save lives. And lastly, we applied for and received a grant from the Niskayuna Community Foundation for smoke alarms. So we're able to continue the program in District 1 where we work with seniors and those that are in need of smoke alarms to be able to go there, do a home fire safety survey and install smoke alarms for people that aren't able to do that on their own. So very thankful to the Niskayuna Community Foundation for supporting us in that. And I think unless anybody has anything for me, that's where we stand right now.
Very good. School district speed zone, that's an ongoing issue that.
I don't know.
I don't.
Forgot where we left it last time. We were looking into Center Road and Rosendale Road.
It's weird that we don't.
I didn't have any notes to do anything on this, but you looked at me. So
I feel like I
it's.
feel like we stopped at the county, maybe because we got talking about other things. I can reach out to Michelle and see if she remembers what the things.
As far as personnel, the police department is currently canvassing the civil service exam list. For potential new hires, we're also looking for lateral transfers. So we are conducting background checks on a few candidates at this point. As far as appointments go, Officer O'Brien and Officer Walker, who have both fit in wonderfully here in Niskayuna Police Department, are both coming up on their into their probationary period, and we will be recommending them both to permanent positions. We're also, town attorney I'm sure knows, Bruce Hershenroder has been very busy with the dog park and dog bites and loose dogs and dogs off leashes. And he is keeping the town attorney quite busy. Bruce has been doing a wonderful job for us here at the police department. So we are also looking to have his permanency appointed for him also. We have a Lexpol agreement. Lexpol is our management system. It houses our departmental policies, and we use that to keep our department policies, and also in that program are training modules so that officers can go through a daily bulletin training or some sort of training to basically talk about each one of the policies that are there and just kind of refresh officers' memories on different policies that are within the department. So that is coming up on a 5-year agreement. We're trying to do a lock increase on the budget, so we will be looking to have that also put into the resolution coming up. And then we have a surplus, and this is the bicycles we were talking about earlier. We have a storage that's filled to capacity with bicycles. A lot of these are bicycles that have been left around town at various places that have been turned over to us. And we've had them for quite a few years. And some of them, it's time to get rid of those. So we'll be looking to also put that into a resolution to get rid of some of those bicycles for scrap. Let's do resolution.
Sure, for resolution, we have the auction of the patrol vehicle. And I'll get Elena to correct me if I forget one. Surplus property for bicycles. That's gonna be its own.
That will be with the auction of the patrol vehicle. I'll do all the, because the auction's technically a surplus that allows us to auction.
Gotcha. Permanent appointment of Officer O'Brien, permanent appointment of Officer Walker, permanent appointment of the dog control officer Hirschenroder, and our lexical agreement.
And I believe most likely the purchase of a trailer.
The radar trailer.
Radar trailer, yeah.
Deputy Chief, do you know how much the, 3 rifle shotgun storage things were? I can't remember.
No, I
Less than 10,000 though.
do not know offhand.
Yeah.
From the
I can say
floor.
that.
I'm gonna be out the rest of the week and the Monday's a holiday, so if we have to add it from the floor, we can.
Yeah, and I think the chief is gonna be back Friday, so I can always check back with
You
him.
can always add it to finance and if you
Yeah.
don't need it, then take it off. And then my only other question is, I know we're canvassing and doing work, do we think that there's gonna be a resolution on for, probably not this
No.
month, right?
Okay. So we'll adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
passes, and our next meeting is scheduled for December 5th at 3:30.
You know, where the clerk's office is downstairs.
Yeah.
So to go down there, there's a FOIL form, Freedom of Information Request. It's got, you fill out the form, it's your name. I can't fill out.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what they may be able to,
They told me to come up and talk to her.
well, to get, and what you want is you want a copy of the,
Estate plan and
Well, I mean, I-
with an emergency.
that's, for me, you want the traffic enforcement. That's what a traffic enforcement console, when you ask Michelle, they'll request a console. But that's what if you want to know when we're on console road, you put traffic enforcement on console road. It'll tell you when we have an officer. That's what you told me you wanted. The emergency fund and everything, that's not it.
Oh, whose realm is it in?
I don't know.
Safety officer,
Yeah.
Safety officer.
Charlie Bergami.